Closer with additional camera angles, driver stats, and track information. It's available on mobile, tablet, and connected TVs. You can download the app and find out more at NBCSports.com/live. Again, a little bit of a delay here before qualifying gets underway from Pocono. And Paul Menard was fast in the first practice, and a lot of people are pointing to Danny Stockman as the reason for the turnaround and the speed that Paul Menard found. This is what Danny Stockman had to say in the media room after that first practice.
RCR as a whole, we don't like to suck, and we have been extremely, we have been really digging hard as a company to not suck. I mean, it's not fun. Your people get beat down, and I feel like right now, like I said, I'm new and I'm scanning through the pictures after practice and walking through the garage here, eyeballs wide open, looking at everybody's equipment, and we have all the stuff. Our stuff is there. It's competitive. We got to stay in front of the curve for the next change.
I love it. That's candid.
Well, yeah. What I love about it is it wasn't rehearsed. It didn't sound like I was speaking to the PR director at RCR. It sounded like I was talking to the new crew chief of Paul Menard's car there, Danny Stockman. And that is a man who's grown up in that organization, has raced, has found success. And you could see he tried to get it as polite as possible, but he wanted to be clear where he felt the company was at, where they all felt they were at, and how much better they wanted to be. And I thought it came through perfectly.
Yeah, and part of this change, obviously, is about improving performance. But, Danny Stockton doesn't have in his pocket 2 or 3 tenths.
Right.
He has to use the tools around him. But the attitude, hey, look, I'm the new guy. And you can see he has an attitude. He has a swagger. He has confidence about him. And sometimes, just that change of attitude, a new way of looking at things, that can be infectious. And when you haven't been running well, it drags your team down. He said it. It drags the company down. People don't have enthusiasm. We're working this hard, this many hours, and we still aren't good enough, and that drags you down. So a guy like him comes in enthusiastic. Hey, this is a new start. Many ways and many times that moves you forward.
Danny Stockman has won a championship in the Camping World Truck Series. He's won a championship in the Xfinity Series, and now making his debut in the Cup Series as the crew chief for Paul Menard. Parker.
Paul, your new crew chief, Danny Stockman, recently today said he's trying not to suck. But you guys were first in practice, so that's obviously not sucking. Can you take that into qualifying, that speed?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't changed a whole lot. We went back on just a couple little changes that we did from when we ran our best lap to the last run. But I feel really good about it. The car is pretty easy to drive, has good speed in it. I just got to go out and hit all my marks.
And talk about hitting your marks, one of the places a lot of drivers focus on, I know myself, is turn 2. You sometimes, especially in qualifying, you got to rise to the grip level and get everything you can out of it in turn 2 to have a fast lap here. How's this 27 Chevy getting through turn 2?
I felt like my strength is off turn 1. I could get to the gas early and hard and carry momentum off 1. Turn 2 is always tough. I mean, you have to be so precise through there every lap. The good thing is you don't lose a whole lot of time if you do miss it in turn 2 compared to 1 or 3, but you still have to get through there just solidly. Like I said, I felt really good off of 1 and off of 3 to carry that momentum down to the front strip.
That's Paul Menard trying to put the whole lap together to go for the pole. Mike?
Hey, Parker, the guy that was behind Paul Menard in that first practice, that was Kyle Busch. Had a very fast race car again. What do you think of your chances of capturing the pole this afternoon?
I think they're okay. We certainly have a really good car. It just feels different than when we were here the last time, and I'm not sure if that's just me and my sensories of being in Indy and how smooth Indy was last week and how kind of rough and bumpy this place has gotten over just the last couple of years since the repave. But overall, we've had really fast M&M's Camrys this year, and we've qualified up front a bunch, so hopefully we can make it to the final round, and we'll see what our adjustments look like through those rounds in order to make sure that we've got a car capable of trying to get the pole.
When you say it feels different than the last time you were here, what exactly do you mean?
Well, last time we were here, I don't even remember what the race was before it that we came here from, but coming from Indy, for as smooth as that place was, it's just that's the last thing on my mind and what I remember and what I felt last week. So getting in the car here and going after it this morning for first practice, it was like, whoa, wait a second, this is different than last week. I don't remember that. So, maybe it had something to do with going road course testing this week as well, too, at Watkins Glen. That place is really smooth also now. So, just had to change my sensories a little bit and kind of get used to running some laps around here at Pocono.
Thanks for your time.
You got it.
Kyle Busch looking for another pole. Won the pole last week, looking for consecutive ones here today. Rick?
So here's a Sprint Cup champion talking about how you have to adjust going from one racetrack to the other, and it's not easy. Like you have an idea in your head what this is going to feel like, how this car is going to drive, and you just heard him say, I was in Watkins Glen and my sensories are different than. You have to change every week. It's not easy. You don't just pull out of pit road, go to fourth gear, and everything be perfect. You have to relearn these racetracks. I know that sounds crazy because he's been here so many times, but the cars drive different. Every racetrack's different. The bumps feel different every racetrack. I mean, how many times have you gone to a real bumpy racetrack and the drivers say, oh, Atlanta. The drivers say, oh my God, it's never been this rough ever. Well, it's just like it was last year. It's just you've been on other racetracks. So you have to readjust yourself to the racetrack that you're on.
I'm going to put up a very long list here. Actually, it's a short list because Kyle Busch has only not won at 2 racetracks that we run competitively now. That's Charlotte and Pocono. And surprising that he hasn't won at either one of those tracks yet. But he's got a lot of momentum coming into this one.
Hasn't won in the Cup Series because he has dominated at Charlotte in the other series. He's won here in a Craftsman truck, a Camping World truck. So, it's only really, I think, a matter of time before he wins in these 2 series. Showing my age, Rick.
It is only a matter of time, obviously, because of the successes that we've seen from Kyle Busch. Again, another track that he has not won at. We'll see if he can win the pole later this afternoon.